against February 2025. I pushed it back to March 1st. And then everything worked out supernaturally. Well, I'm going to tell you what faith can do. Say with me, what faith can do. And I want you to catch this because it's what you believe and what you speak that charts your course. How come we swim in miracles here? Because we don't make room for unbelief. There's a guy that popped up in my YouTube feed. I guess they figure out that you're a preacher and think you like listening to all preachers. So it's a guy a little younger than me, but about my same age. And he goes, I'm a church planner, meaning like what we just did in LA. He said, how many know when you have a church plant, you don't have a nice facility and the offerings are low and not many people come out? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Do you know why you don't have a nice facility and no money's coming in and no one's coming to hear you? Because you got what you said. You said it and it happened. You believed for small and you got small. What if I had gone to Seattle this week and said, Seattle's a very evil place. That's where the Chaz was. Their government's very liberal. It's one of the bluest places in the country. They don't like the church. We're probably going to have many attacks of the devil. I'll probably get sick before I leave. Do you think we'd be going a second week with a packed building? That place seated 550 people. We had 850 on the closing night with young people standing all along the walls for 2 hours listening to the Bible. You get what you say. So I at least know enough that when we started this church, I decided if that kid's struggling like that, talking like that, I'm going to say the opposite. So I said, Father, I thank you that you're going to fill this place right off the bat. I pray you're going to draw people in from everywhere. Let the altar be full of people getting saved. Let there be miracles on day one. And I pray this place would be fully financed by the first week. Well, we finish, and I walk to the private airport, the John Wayne Airport, private airport, to go fly to Fort Worth. And my wife has to go back to our church in Pittsburgh on another plane. So I'm walking out there, and there's 2 jets, one for me and one and my crew, and one for my wife and her crew. And you start thinking to yourself, maybe I got in a little over my head. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers only have 1 plane, and they take in $1 billion a year. What am I doing? Planting a church and having a Gulfstream and a Falcon 50 coming to get us. But I'm just going to tell you, whatever you see me do, what you hear me preach, I fully believe Jesus is coming soon. And I'm going to throw everything I have into getting my generation saved before it's eternally too late. If Pfizer can have a plane, and Johnson & Johnson can have a plane, and Jeffrey Epstein can have a plane, certainly you can have a plane to get the word of God to people and pray for the sick and cast out devils. So, and then I get the message on who was here week 1? How long would you say I took on the offering? 10 minutes, tops. And most of that was collecting it. I didn't teach on it. I actually made a point last week to hardly do anything about the offering because I didn't want to, if people were wondering why we're starting a church, I didn't want it to seem like we came to Los Angeles to pilfer Los Angeles. So I laid off of it. And I thought, well, whatever happens, happens. And then I get the message from the office on Tuesday that the offering on opening Sunday in Los Angeles was $609,000. It fully funded itself from week 1. Several months in advance. Do you know Texas did the same thing? You know Pittsburgh did the same thing? Because if you want to have a hard life, start talking hardship. Start expecting hardship. Start believing hardship. But if you want to see God's miracles, start expecting victory. Start speaking victory. Start talking overflow. Start talking supernatural. And you're going to watch God do for you at a young age what people thought you'd never do when you're 80 years old.